Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cosmic Circus Review. My name is Vin. Today with me, it's my buddy Cam.
Hi everyone, glad to be here on a video for once. This is new,
That's right. That's
new
right.
and
That's right.
exciting.
Cam has done many great Cosmic Circle podcasts with us. We did one a couple weeks ago for Andor, which was
We did,
awesome.
yes.
And now you get to see Cam on video with me, so that's great. All right, so today we're talking about the new Superman movie. Dun, 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 dun. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow, support us on Patreon. Just a few dollars a month helps support the channel, the work we're doing here, and you'll receive exclusive access to our Discord server, mailbag access to ask us questions, and early access to super cool content. All right. Superman 2025, written and directed by James Gunn, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, music by John Murphy and David Fleming. Cam, my friend, can you tell me very briefly what is this movie about?
Superman is about obviously Superman and Lex Luthor. Basically, there is a sort of big wide plot to do with Lex Luthor wanting a lovely piece of land and also trying to put Superman in the middle of it all to try and get him hated by the general public and everything. Like, it's a very modern, relevant movie. Like, you've got disinformation, the big epic battles, and all of that.
And you have
And I
internet
just
trolls, internet
you do
trolls.
monkey internet trolls, as you should know. Yeah, but yeah. So it is. I mean, it is kind of hard to explain plot
Mm-hmm.
wise, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, obviously, if you're watching this video, you should probably know what you're watching by now. But yeah, there's just so much going on, so much good stuff. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And you've seen Superman 1978, right?
Years ago, I believe,
Years
so I
ago.
don't
Okay.
remember too much. Yeah,
I'll get into that in a second, but the first thing you mentioned is Lex Luthor's after a piece of land. That's exactly what 1978 was about, also. So we'll get into it in a second, but I just love that there's all these parallels between the two movies, even though they're so wildly different, right? Okay, so Cam, before we get into it, can you tell me what are your like favorite Superman adaptations? Kind of what is your kind of history with the character and things like that?
my history is I grew up on the Justice League Unlimited, so Justice League cartoon
Yeah,
Unlimited, one of those,
yeah.
when I was younger. So I always had that Superman, just like the good, honest, like friends with Batman, Wonder Woman, all of that. Yeah, big
Hmm.
puffed out chest, all of that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I've also watched some of the CW stuff that had Supergirl in, and obviously Superman showed up
Okay,
in some of
okay.
those. So I've had a bit of that.
Good.
And then obviously the last universe, I watched all the, even though Superman was only in a couple of films and
Hmm.
very wildly different takes.
Hmm.
I want to, obviously, would love to get more into the comics now. I've watched the
Okay.
film and everything,
Hmm.
but I'm not like majorly clued up. Like, I know a lot from like Lego
Okay.
games as well. They're the big part.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
those are good. As far as CW stuff, have you seen Smallville? Parts of it?
parts of it,
Supergirl?
some of it,
Superman and Lois.
some of it. Yeah.
Okay. Who would you say is your favorite Superman?
Well, I don't want to be too soon and say David Corenswet,
Okay,
but
but
he is
besides
up there.
besides
But
Corenswet, besides
besides
he's not
that, yeah,
he disqualified. Yeah.
yeah. I think I would say I forget what the actor is called, and I'm really sorry about this, but
Hmm?
probably the one in Superman and Lois. I thought he did a very, very good
Oh,
job.
Tyler
Yeah,
Hoechlin.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought he sort of like the family dynamic. I really enjoyed
Hmm.
where he's with the children and everything.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I love Superman and Lois, and I think it might be again David Cornsweet's disqualified right now. I think he might be one of my favorites. Like Christopher Reeve has this like pure goodness,
Yeah,
but
obviously, yeah,
Tyler Hoechlin, you have like this kind of wholesome goodness, but also bang bang, he has the action too, and you see him as a dad. So you get all these great sides of Superman, and I also love Tom Welling in Smallville, and so Smallville, Superman and Lois, Superman 1978. That's like my holy
yeah,
trinity.
yeah.
I just love all three of those. Like there's so much good Superman stuff there. I'm a huge Superman fan. I've seen like everything. Um, so going into this movie, I think we kind of come from different places because you're pretty familiar with the character, and
Yeah,
I'm like, criticizing the
yeah,
angle of his hair curl. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
what were your thoughts about the new movie?
I really enjoyed it. I did have some issues with it, which I'm sure we'll get into later on.
Hmm.
But from
Hmm.
like the broad spectrum, I thought it was a really good sort of reintroduction to Superman for a lot of people. Like, you are thrown right into the film, which took a while to get going, but once it does, it throws you in. Like, you've got the new Superman, got the new Lois, you've got the new Lex Luthor to get used to, but
Hmm.
all of that good stuff. Like, I've been really enjoyed how like fantasy and comic booky it went.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't afraid to like like because Lex Luthor obviously had like real world sort of villain,
Mhm.
ideas, but then also he's creating pocket universes, and he's got these brain monkeys, and he's got
Yeah.
this prison that holds like his ex-girlfriends because they wrote a blog about him and everything. So absolutely loved all of that.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the Justice Gang as well. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
Guy Gardner is someone that should never be in a film, but Nathan Fillion can sort of,
It's
he can
so
do any,
perfect.
yeah, he
So
can make
perfect.
anyone into sort of like a lovable rogue. So I really enjoyed the Justice Gang, and obviously Mr. Terrific, who
Hmm.
is not his first like time on screen like he was in the
Hmm.
CW shows, obviously,
Second.
but yeah,
Yeah.
like a tiny bit. But really enjoyed him in this as well. But yeah, just thought it was such like a really good reintroduction to Superman, and then
Hmm.
also a great introduction to the new DCU. But then
Yeah.
also it can stand really good on its own, which I also
Yeah.
enjoy.
Oh, really well said. And I think reintroduction is a great way to put it because if you just think about the opening with all the text,
Yeah,
it says, okay, here's your basic introduction and download. Like, but we know you know Superman. We know you
yeah,
know it.
yeah.
And then then it goes, the 3 centuries, 3 decades, 3 years, 3 months, all the way
Three
down to three
hours, yeah,
minutes.
minutes, yeah,
And it's great because it's like this big epic lore, and then goes into 3 minutes. He got his butt kicked.
yeah,
Right. And it gives you a little like playful sense of humor. This Superman is neat because he's he's kind of like depowered. He's a little weaker than we've seen before. He's very flawed. He makes a lot of mistakes.
yeah,
He's kind of It's really interesting what James Gunn's take is because he's kind of making fun of Superman sometimes. This Superman is kind of like a big childish dork, like who just believes like I'm saving people. That's a good thing,
yeah,
and he has the greatest powers on Earth, but he doesn't know how to use them like strategically or
yeah,
diplomatically sometimes. Um, but that's a great way to start Superman, like early in his career. Like Henry Cavill looked perfect for Superman, but this is a different kind of naivete into it, and a kind of like childish, like boyish childish. He goes into Lex Luthor's office and he's ripping it apart. Where's my dog?
yeah,
You
exactly. Yeah,
know?
like he throws these tantrums, but then he still does it with like the sort of American like gee whiz style,
His first
sayings and
his
everything. Like,
first word, his first word in the whole movie is golly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's so like it's. I just love what James
Oh,
did with like the speech and everything,
yeah.
like with
But at
his.
but at the end of the day, he still saves the day at the
Yes,
end of the movie, and he has this goodness. And Lois Lane like is the complete opposite then, because she's almost like a little bit cynical, and she's like, "Are you sure you're doing the right thing?" To her own
yeah,
boyfriend, and their dynamic is so good. But I think the real secret to the movie is Lex Luthor.
yeah,
I think this is
absolutely.
I think this is a Lex Luthor movie, even more than a Superman movie. This is like the greatest Lex origin story, and it does every version of Lex we've ever seen ever. He's like a scientist. He's a crazy tech billionaire. He has like a pocket universe. He has monsters. He has this pettiness for Superman. He has fake news. He's into politics. It's like every version of Lex in one. Whoa. What what was your take on Lex?
Yeah, exactly like you say. Like Nicholas Hoult even played him to perfection. I thought the whole speech at the end, where he's on about how envious he is over
Hmm.
Superman, that was like
Hmm.
one of the best moments of the film. Like he's just so like really cynical about it. Like obviously, he has the pocket universes and all of this, and gets revealed that he's like, I really enjoyed that he just cloned Superman, and it wasn't a big deal or anything. It's like, yeah, that was really easy to do, and it's like, oh, of course, Lex Luthor would say that.
Uh,
But yeah, like I just really enjoyed sort of his take on it, and it'd be
mhm.
exciting to see what else can happen, because obviously there's so much more Lex to cover, just as there's so much more Superman.
Yeah, and I think that also leads into one of the criticisms that probably both of us have is that this movie has maybe too much.
Yeah,
There's just so much in this, which is cool. Like he put every single idea he has, it all fits together like a perfect puzzle. It all fits. But this feels like a 3 hour movie or like a whole TV season, and then it's like the perfect 2 hour cut. And
yeah,
I just wish there was more breathing room. Maybe he took out a few things. I would have liked like maybe just quiet moments, like just like Clark at the Daily Planet
yeah,
or Superman trying to train his dog. Just a little bit of more room to breathe because it's just there's so much. Like I'm a huge comic fan, and I was able to like, kind of keep up with it, but I kind of worry about like if I went, with my grandma or something, or I worry about general audiences a little bit.
yeah. I know what you mean. Like, I feel like because if general audiences have only seen like Superman 78 or whatever, like they'll know Superman, they'll know
Mhm.
Lex Luthor, they'll know Lois, but then everything else with it, like you've got Pocket University, you've got Metamorpho with a weird baby Joey child who's like a little green alien, you've got like a Green Lantern that's not Hal Jordan, you've got Mr. Terrific, who probably no one has heard of before this. Like, it was
Mhm.
a lot. And obviously, like, the one thing that I think I was a bit dubious about was the reveal with the parents. Like, I know it's
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
a Superman like comic version of it,
Mhm.
but I think for me it just didn't really work. Like, I think there wasn't much explanation around it, and like I would have loved it to have been revealed to have been doctored or something,
Yeah.
but that
In
kind
my
of thing.
opinion, my interpretation, I think there's two ways. One is that it is doctored, and I think it's easy to kind of imply that is doctored. Two, it's possible it's real, and we've seen this before. The other Superman versions have like toyed with this a little bit, with like maybe the Kryptonians were actually just invaders or something. But I like that ultimately the movie doesn't really address that, and that
Yeah,
it's all about Clark Superman and his choice, what he chooses. That speech Paul Kent gives him is really good. That it's about your choices. We've given you the tools. You have these gifts, but it's your choices to determine what you do with them. And I was looking at a review earlier that was kind of criticizing at the end of the movie when Clark goes to the fortress and he's like, "Show me my parents," and it shows Ma and Pa Kent. But to me, Ma and Pa Kent have always been his parents because
yeah.
they're the
Like,
ones
I
who
thought
raised
that
him.
was like a really nice
Yeah,
ending. Like, he chooses to
yeah,
reject what
mhm,
his, original
yeah,
parents are saying. Like, now he knows the full
yeah.
context. Like, he got
Like,
what he needed from them with the half of the video for those
mhm,
years, like to
mhm,
let him know. But it's his real family that's been the one to sort of keep him together all these years.
yeah. Do you think the movie had a little bit of like cheesiness sometimes? Was it a little too sincere?
I thought it was toned down compared to some of his other
Mm,
stuff, like,
okay.
Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad and everything. I thought it
Mm,
was a lot
mhm,
more like. So I enjoyed it in that regard. Like, there
okay.
was obviously like a lot of cheesiness with Superman because he's a bit of a cheesy character.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
he sort of embodies like hope and everything, and
yeah.
going on about punk rock and everything when he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, no, I thought compared, and obviously, like, between this and Creature Commandos as like the start of the DCU, there's like a lot to sort of gauge and understand from where he's trying to take this franchise, which I think is very nice to see.
Yeah. Peacemaker, the biggest laugh in the theater. Like
Yeah,
when
a
when
lot
when
of people
Peacemaker
did.
appeared, I like laughed and like clapped like that. And I did the first clap, and then the whole row went into applause.
Yeah,
Everyone just
yeah. A lot, yeah, I got a lot of laughs the Peacemaker scene, like, because you just didn't expect. As soon as said Chris, I was like, oh no, I know who it is. Like, pans over to John Cena just sat on a chair.
yeah, this is such a good mix of like here's a big broad story, then here's all these like comic details for you
Yeah,
for fans. But there's just so much happening as it goes to the end. Like it all intersects, but there's like so many storylines. Like my head was getting twisted. There's so
yeah.
many
Like, you've got
villains.
the whole Jimmy
Mhm.
Olsen bit, you've got the whole Lex's girlfriend knowing Jimmy Olsen bit. Like I said earlier, it just throws you in at the deep end and you have to piece it together as you go, kind of, in a way, but it works at the same time.
Yeah. And I do think sometimes the movie had some like clunky exposition where they're like, I am the engineer. I was
Yeah,
created to do this, and I lost my humanity, you know?
yeah,
And but I think you also have to do that because there's so much crazy stuff in this
yeah.
movie. You
Like,
have
there's
to
that
say,
many extra little characters. You're like, who the heck is this that's
yeah.
just shown up when she can just, turn things into. But yeah, so I do appreciate when they do that for like the general audiences. I think that's quite nice to see.
Who was your favorite side character? Because there's
My
so many.
favorite,
Who was your favorite?
I have to probably say Guy Gardner. I just thought he was
Mhm.
hilarious. Like, out of like
Yeah.
when you watch him in all the cartoons and
Mhm.
everything, he's such
Mhm.
like a bit of an a-hole, but in this he
Mhm.
was just something endearing about him that was just
Mhm.
like, and every time he interacted with Lois, like, I was laughing so much, like when she goes on about his haircut and then he
Mhm.
like doesn't hear her, so he stands up, and then when he goes to save the day at the end, it's like, oh, you wanted Superman but you've got the upgrade, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
classic.
Yeah, yeah. And I think there's a really fine line to draw with Guy because there are some comics where you just hate him, but
Yeah,
most of the time to get Guy right, he has to walk that line
yeah,
between
yeah,
he's a jerk, but you still love him, and James Gunn is the perfect guy to write characters like
Yeah,
that. He's
exactly.
perfect at
Yeah,
writing these lovable jerks, and Nathan Fillion portrays him so perfectly. My favorite side character was terrific.
yeah.
And
He's just up there for me as well.
yeah, and I'm really glad they did this because for years, Mr. Terrific has been one of my favorite comic characters. However, he does not have like any good comics. If
No,
you look at him on paper, if you look at him on paper, you're like, okay, so he's a genius. He has this is his origin story. Like he has such a great tragic origin story, which I'd love to see on screen. There's like one issue of a Justice Society comic from like 2005 that I really like I'm talking obscure stuff a little bit, but that's it. Like when I was a kid and I found this character, I'm like, wow, he's like the coolest guy no one's heard of.
yeah,
But it's hard to recommend to people because I'm like, here's my Mr. Terrific reading guide, one issue,
yeah.
you know.
It's like skip
So
this bit and don't read that, and
and so
yeah,
now I'm so glad that now you can just point to this and say, this is exactly what I imagined when I was like 13. This
yeah.
is why he's great because they captured it, and there's actually even more depth to the character that I would love to see them go into. Um, After Superman, where would you like to see these characters again? Would you like to see a Superman 2? Would you like to see like Justice League International, or a Mr. Terrific movie, a Guy Gardner thing? What are you most excited for next, spinning out
What
of this?
firstly, I think I would love a Superman 2. Like, I would like to see like another like a villain we've not had, like Brainiac or someone. I think that would
Yeah,
be very good to see.
yeah.
But I would also, want spin-offs for it. Like James Gunn does one thing, it's a spin-off. Like this is how we got Peacemaker.
Mhm.
So I can so imagine there's going to be like a Mr. Terrific TV show or something like that.
Mhm.
I think Guy Gardner will possibly show up in that Lanterns TV show
Yeah,
that they're
yeah.
making as
That'll
well.
be a
So
lot of fun. That'll be
yeah,
so much
so
fun.
I can imagine that there's going to be like a future for these characters, and I think it will build up to like a Justice Society or Justice League or one of the
Mhm.
justices eventually down the line. So I think it's
Mhm.
going to be really good to see.
Yeah. For me personally, like as such a big comic book fan, I was really excited seeing all the characters already. Like
Yeah,
Metamorpho is so cool in this movie,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's a great character in the comics. But you read this comic, you're like, you'll never see him on screen, and then they
There he
did.
is. Yeah,
So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see these characters developed more. And
yeah,
so I understand why like Superman too, but for me, I'm ready to jump into this Justice Gang to Justice League transition. That's what I like. Justice League Unlimited, that cartoon. I'm
yeah,
ready to see that in
yeah.
live
We
action now.
definitely need something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah. I do think related to that, this movie, it's not quite enough of a Superman showcase. Like
yeah,
you understand his character and everything, but like Christopher Reeve's movie is all about why Superman is special. And this movie is
yeah,
like, here's Superman, but also here's his super friends, here's a super dog, here's his super universe. And Superman's at the center of it, but I don't think he has kind of enough of like, this is why I, Superman, am special.
yeah, yeah,
But maybe it doesn't need to be. So like if I were to recommend somebody's introduction to Superman, I think I would say like watch 1978 and watch 2025. You need both.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I think it could have done more with. I think I wanted a bit more of Clark at the Daily Planet. Like that one scene was
Precisely.
good, but I think it's just the fact that no one ever mentions what where's Clark gone when like all of this is going on. I think it would have been
Oh,
nice if they sort of because like he just doesn't turn up to work and no one
yeah.
bats an eyelid. So I think it might have been nice to maybe have him like go into work and then he has to rush off or something like that.
Yeah, they just forget about it. And then I think the movie's supposed to be structured like a week in the life of Superman.
Yeah,
There's all these like cuts to black.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and I wish if that was the idea that they were a little more explicit. Like I would have liked to see like Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
like it could have done with a title card like he has in Suicide Squad and that kind of thing.
I think that would have been a lot of fun just to say like here's this crazy movie, but it's just a week, just one
Yeah,
week in
it's
his
just
life.
just
Like
a typical week.
yeah,
Like this happens all the
come
time.
back,
Like
come
yeah,
back Monday. There'll be
yeah,
something else, you know.
yeah, yeah,
But I also understand like some of the test reactions were like negative about this, but whatever. I think overall it really works. I would like to see an extended cut with just a little
yes,
extra room to breathe.
absolutely. Yeah, like I hope there will be potentially something like that if James Gunn allows it, but we can see. But if not, it's like there'll be deleted scenes so we can like pretend those are canon or whatever whenever they come out. But I think it definitely could have done with just a bit more like because obviously the post credit scene I really enjoyed because that was the breathing room that the film needed. Like I think that should have been like at the end of the film, like when he stood with Mr. Terrific and the complaining that it's not quite lined up right. Like we needed a little bit more stuff like just between the characters, just to really sort of gel them all together.
That's a good point. And also, that does feel weird. You're sitting through the whole credits, you get to that, and it's not even like super funny. I think the Supergirl scene could have moved there, and that could have gone into the movie.
Yeah.
But then I think he really wanted everyone to see the Supergirl scene because of the movie.
Yeah, because a lot of people still left at the end of and I was like, do you not know by now you have to sit through it all? Like however many years we are into all of this superhero stuff by now. But
and then one more thing, I think if James Gunn does a Superman Batman movie at some point, if this universe can get Superman Batman right, then I think they're locked for success. Like one Superman movie is good, but what everyone has been waiting for since 1978. We've been waiting for Superman and Batman.
Yeah, right? Like an actual good team up where they like work together. That would be very, very good.
I think if they nail that, then they've done it.
Yeah,
you know.
And like I am in the camp where I would like a different Batman to the Robert Pattinson one in the DCU. I think we need someone else to work with because obviously I would like them to actually give us like these Batman villains, like, you know, we've never had like some of the crazy villains like all together. Like I want a Batman film with a lot of these villains in it at the same time. So I think that might be somewhere they could hopefully go.
Yeah, like, you know, there's the Clayface movie coming after Supergirl, but I don't even know if Batman will be in that.
Yeah, I think it's like an adulty Elseworlds type one or something. Like I think they want to go the horror route with that. So I don't know.
I think that would be a great place to just low key introduce a Batman, which I'm sure hopefully they will do. But the roadmap is a little bit strange right now. But I at least have faith, I think, for now.
Yeah, like you know, we've got Supergirl next year, so we can wait and see after that.
Good stuff. Anything else?
Remember, was there anything else? I
wanted to mention this is kind of funny. So do you remember you mentioned in the prison there's the ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
And Lex Luthor just makes a comment like, here's all my greatest, the people who've ever bothered me, including this petty ex-girlfriend who wrote a blog about me one time. Yeah. And so this is a true story that happened to James Gunn. I discovered this when he got fired, and I was like just trying to like understand James Gunn stuff. I discovered a blog written by a girl who was dating James Gunn around the time of the first Guardians movie.
Yeah.
And she was like, my boyfriend just released this new movie and then he broke up with me. Blah, 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 blah. So this girl wrote a blog just shitting on James Gunn. As he's making the new Guardians movie that's become this huge like phenomenon. Yeah. It's a real blog. I can't find it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine it's been taken down by now, but
but can you imagine? 10 years later, he's like, if I was a supervillain, I would put you in this prison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I mean, that just shows like where he gets his sort of really good ideas from. You know, that's why he is so successful, because he does have this really weird sort of all these weird stories he can put in his films, which I really do like.
And then there's the thing with Superman dealing with all this criticism on the internet and the fake news and the vitriol against him. So you can kind of see bits of James Gunn in both Superman and Lex, which I think makes them such personal takes in this movie. They're so different, and the story is so unique because James Gunn actually made this a James Gunn movie. He actually put himself in Superman. He actually put himself in Lex. I mean, in all the characters, but especially those two. Like I told you, I think this feels more like a Lex Luthor movie than a Superman movie, and I think that was James Gunn kind of channeling some of his anger or his feelings. Like, Superman's just a dork. I want to make a movie where Lex Luthor does everything he can to beat up this dork, but the dork still wins at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, something like that.
You know, hope still prevails, Superman prevails, all of that good stuff.
All right, well, I think we did it. I think we're done.
We are Superman. We are Superman out.
Good movie. All right, thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed our discussion, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Are you excited for more Superman and more James Gunn, more DCU? Let us know. I'm Vin. You can find me on Blue Sky at Vin Writes Words.
I am on Twitter at Cam Film. Please give me a follow.
Yes, and be sure to follow thecosmiccircus.com and Blue Sky and at My Cosmic Circus. You can find more reviews, articles, editorials, and opinions like the ones you just watched. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
And special thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see even more videos and extended content, please subscribe at the link in the description.
Thank you.